If you don't mind, would you please clear the commission room, take your conversations to the hallway? Thank you.
We're going to start our finance committee meeting. We're going to start finance committee meeting. Any conversations, please take them to the hallway unless you want to be a part of the finance committee. Madam Clerk, 1225-17, read the captions, please.
Resolution 1225-17, a resolution to relinquish Hamilton County's interest in a 1991 International 4700 with 63,108 miles, co-titled with Sell Creek Fire Department.
So Chief, basically they're wanting to sell it, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. See no lights. We'll take this up next week. 1225-18.
Resolution 1225-18, a resolution accepting the proposal from Spatco Energy Solutions for the purchase and installation of a turnkey fuel island for the Cromwell Public Works Complex for a total project amount not to exceed $677,743, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Okay, so Todd, this is, you want to walk through this real quick?
Sure. Fueling station, 2 10,000-gallon fueling above ground tanks at Cromwell. As you know, we're in the process, or have been in the process, of transitioning from Standiford Gap to Cromwell with most of our public works forces. Most all of our highway, other than one of our PLM shops, is already there. We're currently going to Standiford Gap for most of our fueling. This will put it in an area much more efficient for us. To fuel both for just daily work, inclement weather, all the above. It'll also allow us, we've over the last 10 years gone through and abandoned most of our underground storage tanks. This will also potentially allow us to go ahead and abandon those tanks depending on what the sheriff's future needs are there at Standiford Gap. So this is
Shutting it down totally at Standiford Gap.
Well, two issues with it right now. Obviously, it's been there a while. We do have operation and equipment issues with it now that would cost quite a bit of money but yes, our ultimate intention would be to abandon those, or abandon that at Standiford Gap.
You mentioned the sheriff using, because they got P cards, they can use it any gas.
Yeah,
station.
I mean, we've been in our preference, since our name's on it, would be to abandon those USTs. There's been some discussions until we're ready to do it, but I'm pretty sure he's in favor of that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. See no lights, no questions. We'll take that up next week. So 1225-19.
Resolution 1225-19, a resolution approving the expenditure of up to $1,356,960 for the purchase of electric vehicles and up to $110,715.20 for the purchase of other equipment, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
So electric vehicles for who?
So it's a grant that's being administered by Development Services, Mr. Janeway, and then Fleet Management, which is Gerald handles those. So I'll ask Gerald to step up if he wants to. I think Fleet Management has probably where those will go, but as you know, they've been transitioning out of some of our lease to electric vehicles here over the last year or so. So I don't have those specifics, but I'll ask Fleet
How much,
Management.
are we still getting grants money back on electric vehicles? Gerald?
But-
Yep.
Go ahead, Lee.
Yes, we've received no notification that those grants have been canceled. They're still active. We have verified that.
The president, I think, stopped some of the electric vehicle grants here 2 months ago.
I believe that's different than, that's different than, that was more for the rebates, I believe, that they were given to
Okay.
individuals.
And then the 110,000 says other purchase, other equipment. What's other equipment for $110,000?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it would be infrastructure. I mean, right? It'd be infrastructure, charging stations, things like
Okay.
that.
That relates to those electric vehicles.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay, we'll take this up next week, 1225-20.
Resolution 1225-20, a resolution accepting the proposal from Philips Healthcare, a division of Philips North America LLC, for the purchase and installation of a Philips CT scanner amounting to $475,439.05 for an 8-year service contract with 2-year extended warranty amounting to $496,336.32 for the new Hamilton County Forensic Center, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Who's here to talk about that?
I mean, I could speak some on that in general, but basically we have the grant we had received from the state to build the forensic center. It was to build it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I see you up there. I apologize and I will hush.
Tim Carroll, I'm the office manager for the Hamilton County Medical Examiner's Office, and I have Dr. Stephen Cogswell with me, the Hamilton County Chief Medical Examiner. So medical examiners across the country have been transitioned from traditional digital X-ray, full body X-rays. They're 2-dimensional to CT scanners,
Right.
which are 3-dimensional. We have a digital X-ray machine. It's like a 2.5 by 2.5 panel that we have to put under patients and do multiple X-rays. CT scanner, the one we're looking at, can do it in 2 or 3 minutes. We're spending many hours doing X-rays, sometimes all day, 2 days just to get the X-rays to make it look like a 3D. So this is actually going to help him more than it's going to help me.
Let me ask you this, Ms. Carroll.
Yes.
The 475, is that the annual for the 8 years, or is that total 8 years?
That's,
Says for the purchase and installation of a scanner amounting to 475, 439.
the 475 is for the scanner equipment, and the total of 496,336.32 is for the extended warranty and the 8-year contract,
Okay,
or 8-year warranty, I'm sorry.
so grand total, we're talking about almost $1 million.
Well,
Yes, sir.
The first year service contract is coming out of the grant. And then we'll have to, it's 8 to 12% for a service agreement on this type of equipment. Whether it was the X-ray machine that's a full body, it's $445,000.
See, no lights, no questions? All right. Thank you, Jim. All right, Ms. Sharp.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. It says here, grant contract, funding, other, state grant contract, sole source. So it's a 100% grant from the state?
Yes, it was originally 10 million and then Mayor Wamp got an additional 2 million.
Okay, so
So
no
it was-
matching from us on this particular?
No, it was the COVID money.
Thank you.
All right. All the questions. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Take us up next week, 1225-21. Oh,
We'll move into health. Oh, I'm sorry. That's,
it's Health and Human.
we're going to
Services.
move into legislative committee. 1225-22. Would you read that, Madam Clerk?
Resolution 1225-22, a resolution amending Resolution Number 712-13, which adopted a policy regarding opening invocations before meetings of the Hamilton County Commission to allow county commissioners to voluntarily offer and deliver the invocation.
Commissioner Eversole?
No, I want to say thank you, Chairman. I just appreciate Attorney Barnell. Thank you so much for getting this together. To me, this is, I couldn't fathom that commissioners couldn't say a prayer in here. And that was, so thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Ms. Barnell, for you and Chairman Smith getting this together for us. So thank you.
No lights. We'll move into roads and zoning. Commissioner Highlander.
Thank you, Chairman. I will ask for forgiveness if necessary, but I did lead a prayer when an occasion came up one time. So if I'm remiss, forgive me, but I would do it again. If you would please, ma'am, read 1225-23.
Resolution 1225-23, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to enter into and execute a memorandum of agreement with the state of Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation concerning Cumberland Trail crossings at certain county thoroughfares and the installation of maintenance of trail crossing signage.
It's pretty much self-evident. Anything you need to add, Mr. Lehman or Mr. Janeway, either one?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the state came to us basically asking for permission to cross several of our roadways with the Cumberland Trail. And this gives us the green light to be able to sign the contracts for them to do that. They're gonna put in some signage and striping and it should look really nice.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Janeway. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll take that up. Madam Clerk, 1225-24, please.
Resolution 1225-24, a resolution to close and abandon public right-of-way in the east line of the 6100 block of Ottawa Georgetown Road.
Thank you. Any problem with that, Mr. Lehman?
No, sir.
Thank you. We'll take it up next week. 1225-25.
Resolution 1225-25, a resolution to rezone from R5 Single Wide Manufactured Home District and M1 Industrial District to R1 Single Family Residential District for the property located in the 6200 block of Ottawa Georgetown Road.
Okay. That is a major change. Mr. Eversole, that's your district. Did you have a comment on that? Okay.
Sure. It's really long. Do you want to go through the whole thing or just hit the break highlights? Yeah, it's in one of the first zoning cases we have under Plan Hamilton. This is a request to basically, at the end of the day, rezone manufacturing M1 zone, roughly 6 acres, to R1 for 7 housing units. It's presently zoned M1. You could do a wide range of NOXes, heavy intensive uses in the M1 zone. So this does rezone that to R1 with a PUD, controls it to 7 units in this area. But it is part of Cambridge Square, which is the planned unit development overall, which is the next case, which actually reduces the overall number of units from 366 down to 245 and reduces the density. Staff looked at this. It is in the place type of Plan Hamilton, which recommends resort recreation. And that was because it was due to the Honors Golf Course next door, which was a storage shed and maintenance shed. At the time, the Honors Golf Course owned that property. Somebody's bought it. The resort recreation does say limited uses of residential. This is residential request, so staff felt there was no need for a plan amendment unless this body feels it should be amended. Planning Commission reviewed that same request and felt it did not need a plan amendment, that the R1 zone did comply with the resort recreation place type and supported the request, so we recommend to approve.
So this is the piece of property that was originally owned by Honors?
Correct. It's the old, here's a picture of it. There's a view of the
Yeah.
site. It was like their storage shed and something
Right.
else there. This is
Yeah,
the
I'm-
back
I'm-
part of that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
So it's a big, at the end of the day, reducing the density and going from M1 to R1. So staff recommend to approve as well as planning commission. There was no opposition at planning commission.
Okay. All right, thank you.
If you would, ma'am, we'll take that up. 1225-26, please.
Resolution 1225-26, a resolution granting a special permit for a residential plan unit development amendment for properties located in the 6,000, 7,000, and 7,100 blocks of Aubrey Way, the 7,000 block of Chesterton Way, the 9,400 block of Haviland Way, 9,400 block of Kingshed Court, 6,100 through 6,300 block of Ottawa Georgetown Road, 9,400 block of Purebeck Lane, and 9,400 block of Travistock Way.
Thank you, ma'am. Brian, any comments on that?
No, this is associated with the zoning case we just discussed. This is the PUD amendment to add that 6-acre tract of land to the Cambridge Square PUD. You see on the screen, the acreage does go up from 111 to 117 because of that rezoning request. The overall number of units is dropping from 366 to 245. The density is going down from 3.3 to 2, roughly 2. And then the acres of community lots increasing from 34 to 31. Staff recommended to approve as well as planning commission. And there was no opposition at planning commission meeting.
Any comments, Commissioner Eversole? your
No,
district?
I'm familiar with it. So that,
Okay.
the decrease in the density, appreciate that. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Brian, before you leave, Commissioner Chauncey has a question for you.
Sure.
Thank you, Chairman Hollander. So I thought it'd be appropriate. I had a question about kind of where we're at with Plan Hamilton since we're in a zoning committee. And last Monday at the Planning Commission, you were talking to the Planning Commission about where we're at, and you were still waiting on this body to adopt the final draft.
Sure. There's been a lot of talk, and I have it on the screen here. There's been a lot of talk out there that this case we just talked about violated Plan Hamilton. Just a reminder, Plan Hamilton was adopted by the Planning Commission on September 8th. It has not been adopted by this body. We've not been directed by this body to bring it forward at this time. Per TCA state law, if the legislative body adopts the general plan, which would be Plan Hamilton, by a form of a resolution, then all decisions based on, after that must be based on the land use plan. Well, that's not been adopted by this body. So we're still using it as a guide. I'm not sure. We've not been directed.
That's why I'm asking, have you requested it to come back to this body?
And we're
Is there a
waiting
reason why
direction.
it hasn't?
We're waiting direction from this body to tell us what to do, bring the plan back. It's been sent to the state. We've not heard back from
So
the
we're-
state.
So all we gotta do is put it on the books and vote on it. So there's no reason for the delay other than maybe our chairman can talk to our chairman and ask him why it's not on the agenda yet?
My answer, Karen Rennick, Regional Planning Agency. We sent Plan Hamilton, the certified copy to the state at the end of October, and then sent the hard copy of Plan Hamilton, the certified copy, to the County Commission office at the end of October. So we did flag for the chairman of the committee that we didn't place it on the agenda, but we were done with those steps. The state doesn't, they basically just take the copy and put it on file. They
Okay,
don't do
so
anything
the state
back.
has done what they're supposed to do. They've approved it. Now it's kind of in our hands.
And just to clarify, they don't approve it. We just send it to them. And I think the comment from them is that they just need it sent to them. And we did that at the end of October. And so we did have a discussion at Planning Commission on Monday. We did flag that the Plan Hamilton has a plan amendment process where someone can request a plan amendment, and that we were planning on presenting to Planning Commission in January a application and what that would look like. But yes, it is, it is up to
There's still
council.
some other bodies that needs to go through before we get, okay. That's what I
That's
wanted to know.
correct.
I just
It's,
was
we're
curious
using
why
it as
it
staff.
takes so long.
And the cases you heard tonight were the first cases where we as staff have used it for recommendations.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Any other comments before we leave? You're now adjourned. Thank you.